Today I am going to be talking all about the 5 things my most successful coaching clients who are wedding photographers make sure to do every single quarter. Before we dive right in, I actually have a free gift for you guys. It is my quarterly planning document. It's a Google document. It's about 10 pages long. You can make it shorter, and it does a fantastic job of making sure you get set up every single quarter to have a business plan and a game plan of how you want to move your business forward while still treating your clients with the top-notch level of experience and service that you possibly can. So be sure to grab that. It's down linked in the description below. So I am going to be really talking through the 5 things that my successful clients do. These are things that have really helped me grow my business over the years, especially as a wedding photographer. These were some of the things that I really worked and focused on when I grew my income by 3 times from one year to the next. If you have any questions at any point, drop them down below in the comments and I will be sure to get back to you. If you are looking to elevate your business this year, here are the 5 things that I would recommend that you focus on. One would be balancing work and life. And I know that's a really funny one to start off with, but hear me out. If you are a photographer who is running your business, chances are you're the one who's wearing a lot of the hats yourself. Not only are you executing and doing all of the tasks and literally the employee working on all of the work in the business, but you're also the person who has to be the strategic one who is looking ahead, has to look at everything that's happened, reflecting and analyzing and figuring out what there is to tweak and improve, or what the things that you really need to focus your attention on are. So with those 2 things, one, it's really easy to fall into one or the other, but 2, both of them take a tremendous amount of energy. When you're doing both of those things at once, it's a lot to take care of. It's a lot to handle, and a lot of it is falling on you, especially as you are the number one person working within your business. This does tend to ease up when you start to hire on a VA or hire on teams for it, but as you are the one who is literally driving your business forward, especially at the beginning, I think that is when it is most important to pour into yourself first. You are the number one asset. Without you, the business quite literally does not thrive or grow or go anywhere. If you're not 100, it's going to be really hard to show up at 100 in your business. This is not to say that it's impossible. I've personally had really hard personal seasons that I've been going through and still made the most income-wise in my business, but it's really hard to. So my number one tip is to make sure that you are pouring into yourself from a life perspective, still giving yourself time to really enjoy the benefits of being able to work for yourself, of being able to focus on the personal things that really matter to you when you can, making sure that you're taking really good care of yourself, getting your water in, getting your sleep in. Are there going to be seasons where you maybe have to sacrifice some of those? Yes, but as much as you can keep pouring into yourself so that you can thrive and run at 100 or 80 or 90%, like that's when it's going to be something that you can kind of like sustain over a long period of time, because otherwise you are running yourself to burnout. And I've been there more than once in my business, and let me tell you, it is not fun and it takes so much time to recover from that I really wish I had been more cautious and a little bit better of balancing work and life from the very get-go, especially within my first 2 years. So this has been one of the biggest lessons that I've had to learn, and is a lesson that I still have to actively work on 5 years in. My second tip for my most successful clients, these are the ones that are really strategic with how they're operating their business. So that means that they're not just like running their business client to client. They have an overall game plan, an overall strategy. This really revolves around, 1, knowing what you're focusing on from a business perspective for the upcoming quarter, knowing what your marketing efforts are centered around for this existing month or this quarter. It looks like knowing your finances in and out and making sure that you have time to really look at that every single week and knowing, okay, this is a slower quarter in terms of income. That means that I really need to leverage more growth or more marketing activities to build out that gap in the income. So it's really having an overall view of your business as you're operating the day to day and really knowing what it is you're working towards and having that clarity as you're running your business, instead of just kind of being on the hamster wheel of like always a new client, like turning around client work. Oh, I need to do some marketing. It's being more proactive than reactive, whether that's with client communication, whether that's with your systems and having that in place. Are there going to be anomaly clients or like anomaly situations that are just not super great? Of course, you're not going to be able to account for everything. I'm not asking you to be a perfect robot, but for anything that does happen that's a bit of a friction point, what can we learn from this? And is there a way to update our system so that this is less likely to happen in the future? Or is this just simply an anomaly and we know that we have done everything on our part already? early when it comes to this issue. So I would say that is the second biggest thing. And as much as a plan is never going to go completely perfectly, you have that greater vision. You know what you're working towards. And that gives you the clarity also of knowing when you're going to like work and repeat a strategy, because sometimes it's going to take 90 days or more like 6 to 12 months to really see something pay off and really start to work in your business. The third thing is really having effective, well-rounded marketing strategies. A lot of times I see people really go all in on one specific strategy. And while that can be really effective to start to learn a new platform and to grow on that platform, I think as a wedding photographer specifically, or even a portrait photographer, I think it's really helpful to have 1 to 3 main marketing strategies that you're focusing your time and energy on, and to make sure that those marketing strategies are the ones that actually make sense for your business and aren't just the new thing that an expert or guru is talking about right now. Having strategies that are really driven by your specific business, knowing where your leads are coming from, knowing which of those leads are converting and actually booking with you. Like, where did those people come from? Where did your past clients come from? A lot of times we're overlooking marketing strategies that have to do with vendor referrals or past client referrals and leveraging those in our business. And we're way more likely to pour more time and energy into something like Instagram, which might not even be bringing in that many leads for you. And I say this with so much love because I have definitely fallen in that trap before. So it's really about getting very smart and really strategic around what are the things that actually work and how can you leverage those, especially if you don't have a lot of time to work on your business. As you have more time, as you get a larger clientele base, as you have systems in place to really make sure that you are marketing to your past clients, marketing to your vendors, making use of your community, then you can start to expand a little bit further past that to any of the other strategies that you can tell are your third top source of referral. The fourth thing is client relationship management. So this is one of the things you're going to hear me preach about this all the time on here. I am the systems girl, and I cannot say enough about putting your systems in place before you actually think you're going to need them. Because as photographers, we always want to grow. We always want more clients. But the question is not, will you grow? You will grow. The question is, are you going to be able to handle that growth once you actually have 5 times the amount of clients that maybe you currently do? So if you're in a stage of your business where you are wishing that you had more clients, one of my biggest recommendations is to put your systems in place now. If you're on the flip side of that and you have way too many clients, but not the systems and the infrastructure and the support to handle all of those and give each client the client experience that you really want for them, my biggest thing is to start putting your systems in place just one client at a time. So every time you edit an email to send out to an existing client, build that back into your system. Is it going to take an extra 15 minutes? Yes, it is, but I promise it is so worth it because it's going to save you so much time in the long run, and you're going to be able to better handle the amount of clients that you have without feeling overwhelmed. So that is my recommendation there. I really think it's so important to treat the people that have already paid us and make sure that we're really delivering on the service, because they are going to be the ones who are referring you your next best client. And it is also so much easier for us to be able to rebook and rework with clients who've already had a really great experience with us too. And so any way that you can, one, have a really consistent and strong and stellar client experience from the start is going to be amazing. And two, making sure that you're keeping up with those relationships as the years go by is also super, super important, and something that I feel like gets overlooked in the photography industry. I feel like there's always a really heavy emphasis towards marketing, but not necessarily client retention or really keeping up with our clients and making sure that they have a good experience with us, not just when we're photographing their wedding or photographing their shoot, but throughout the years, because that's how you build loyalty, and that's how you turn customers into very loyal fans and people who are going to actually market your business for you without you having to do anything. So that's a huge thing to really focus on that I see a lot of my successful coaching clients do an extremely good job of. So the last thing that I will say is being really consistent with showing up. This is a bit of a broader tip. I think that this can be taken in a bunch of different ways. And I don't mean showing up like a robot or having to show up perfectly or every single day. I just mean consistently. So depending on your season, consistently might look like one really solid blog post once a month. It might look like showing up on Instagram stories every few days. It might look like consistently posting 3 images to your feed, despite what's going on with the Instagram algorithm. Anything to show that you are consistently showing up and showcasing and sharing the work that you're doing. It will teach people that you keep showing up and you know what you're doing and you're steady and you're not just like posting a bunch once and then you're ghosting. You don't seem to be in your business for 3 to 6 months and then you come back and you have all this work that you did. It's helpful for your clients to get to expect a rhythm and a cadence around what you're doing, but more than I think it's really more so showing receipts of you're doing the work. You're staying busy. You're staying in demand. You are like taking your business seriously. It's not something that you post and ghost. It's something that you're like consistently working on over time. The algorithms are going to reward people that are consistently showing up over time. Set yourself a cadence that you can actually sustainably show up around. I see a lot of people like set themselves a goal of maybe posting 5 times a week, and that's just not sustainable for them. Maybe it works for them for 3 months, but then inevitably they hit busy season, and then it's like you can maybe get 1 post up, and then there's all this guilt on top of it. I'm like not hitting my goal. Versus if you had just set the goal to be 2 posts a week from the get-go, it might seem really easy during some seasons, and then other seasons you're like, okay, this is just about what I can get out. And also setting the goalpost a little bit lower allows you to create content and get ahead, right? Have stuff in your back pocket that you can use and rely on when you are in a bit of a heavier season. So those are 5 tips on things that I see all of my successful photography clients do. Let me know if any of these 5 things really resonated with you down in the comments, or if you had a question about anything I mentioned, shoot me a DM on Instagram. My DMs are always open and I would love to chat more with you there. And I do have that free guide that helps you plan out your business goals for the upcoming quarter, and that is down in the description. So make sure to grab that and let me know what you think, and I will catch you guys in the next episode.